What's up guys, and welcome to Calisthenics. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the number one rule that you guys need to follow if you want to make progress with your training. So most of us, when we start training, we have a specific goal in mind, we have something that we want to pursue. So this could be building muscle, it could be building strength, it could be, in my case, becoming very good at using my body weight. There are loads of different paths that you can follow, and there are loads of different ways that you could be training. And whatever training style, whatever goal that you choose, you're going to be having to train in a certain way in order to get to that goal. And that's where the number one rule comes in, and that rule is to always plan your workouts. So I'm going to go through the different steps, the different layers of planning your workout, from the most basic to the more specific, I guess, and hopefully you guys can either just understand me, because it does make sense, it's pretty easy to remember, or just note it down on a piece of paper. If you need to have the information in front of you and you want to record this for later for planning your workouts, then please feel free to just write it down on a piece of paper, or even just save the video if you need to watch it again. So here we go with rule number one, and that's just going to be knowing what you're going to be doing throughout the week. So what day are you doing what training session? So you need to know what muscle groups you're training, what exercises you're doing on each specific day of the week. If you're training 3 days a week, if you're training 5 days a week, it doesn't really matter, but you just need to know how your week is planned, and obviously the way it's planned has to make sense towards reaching your goal. So once you know how your week is going to be arranged, what workouts you're doing on what day, the next thing, and step number two, is obviously going to be knowing what exercises you're doing on each specific day, and also making sure that each of those exercises makes sense to work towards your goal. So if you're working endurance, then you're not really going to be doing 5 sets of 5 with deadlifts, squats, and bench press, because it doesn't really make sense to do strength training for endurance training. So that's just a stupid example, but you get the idea. You need to be training more specifically towards what you're trying to achieve. So once you know what you're doing every day of the week, you know what exercises you're going to be doing, the next thing is knowing sets and reps. So how many sets are you doing? How many reps are you doing? So if you're trying to build muscle, for example, you're going to be wanting to train maybe 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps. If you're training strength, it might be 5 sets of 3 or 5 sets of 5. If you're training endurance, then it could be running, it could be swimming, it could be cycling. I don't really know. But if we're talking about actually doing exercises and repetitions, it's probably going to be 15 reps and above for endurance training. So based on your style of training, obviously you're going to have different rep ranges, you're going to be working with different amounts of weight, and you need to know this as well. So for every exercise you have on every specific day of the week, you need to have written down 4 sets of 5, 4 sets of 8. It doesn't really matter what the numbers are, but you need to know what those numbers are, what numbers you need to hit every week, and why they're there, obviously, because like I said, they need to serve a purpose towards getting you closer to your goal. Okay, so let's say you know what your training program is for every single day of the week. You know what exercises you're doing, you know how many reps you're doing, how much weight you're working with. Let's say you have all of this planned out. What's the next thing that you really need to be doing? You need to be tracking your progress. So this is one of the most important and most specific things that you need to be doing in order to progress with your workouts, progress with your training, whatever it may be. What I did when I started out training is I just kind of threw myself into it. I just went all out, and obviously at the beginning I made progress. Didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of doing exercises here and there, and obviously I made noob gains, everyone kind of gets that. But it got to a point where, and it took me a while to realize this, but it got to a point where I was kind of stagnating. I wasn't really moving forward anymore. I was just staying at the same performance, and obviously when you get to this point, you need to make a change in order to push through that barrier and keep progressing. So let's say you're doing strength training and you're working with a certain amount of weight. You want to make sure that that weight is steadily going up. Even if it takes a long time, it needs to be going up. If it gets to the point where it just flatlines for a long period of time, then either you've hit your natural limits, which is totally fine. Obviously we're humans, we can only go so far, we can only get so strong, or it means that you're doing something wrong in your training and you're not doing everything you need to be doing in order to keep pushing forward. So that's why you need to track your progress, and you need to make sure that you note down how many reps you're doing, how much weight you're doing, if you struggled with a certain exercise, if your form is good, if your form is bad. All these things are really, really important if you want to move forward and if you want to get quality workouts in and you want to track your progress. Because if you don't do this, then you're going to lose sight, you're going to lose track, and you're just going to end up doing workouts for the sake of doing workouts. And you're not really going to be working towards your goal or moving forward anymore. So guys, that was pretty much all 4 steps, the 4 things that I find most important about planning your workouts. Always remember that planning your workouts is the #1 rule, the most important thing that you need to be doing if you want to make progress. So sorry if I rambled on. Hopefully those 4 steps are very clear. I will probably note them in the description below so that you guys can look at them if you want to, but hopefully I was clear enough in my video and hopefully you understood exactly what you need to be doing in order to track your progress, in order to move forward and reach your goals. So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. And if you have any questions or anything like that, just shoot away in the comment section below. You can also check out my Facebook and my Instagram. Those will be linked in the description. Till next time, guys, stay strong. Peace out.